Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my weekly What I've Been Warming. So this will include things from right after Christmas until today, which is January the 6th, I believe. And the last week in our house has been fraught with a lot of illness. My younger daughter got very, very ill. My older daughter got something that wasn't terrible, but she took a few days off of work and has been coughing in her bed. And it's just kind of been a downer after a lovely Christmas season, but we still have wax to make us happy and console us and comfort us on our sickbed, right? So let's dive right on into a really interesting mixture of partials that I was trying to get through that are mostly festive, things that are more fresh and clean, even a couple things that would hint at romantic and Valentine's, because my younger daughter works for Target at this point and she's really already feeling the Valentine's bug. So there's just a couple things here that are kind of going to go in that direction. I'll do those at the end of the video. But let's start with me sort of cleaning up after Christmas with some fresh and clean scents that are still very wintry. So there was a day where I did some of Frozen to the North Calls, which I think was in clearance not all that long ago, and Snowed-In Flannel, which you guys have heard me talk about a lot over the last few months. It's no longer available, but if you clubbed it or bought some, you know what I mean. It's just a good scent. So this is exactly what I wanted a couple days after New Year's. It was just, you know, that emotional, you don't want to like crash, but you sort of want to come down off of Christmas kind of a day where I wanted something fresh, but I still wanted it to be cozy, and that is what this delivers. So it's got cotton, it has pink pepper, it has those cozy, almost cashmere notes, but on a low-key, nice level. So that was the first thing that I grabbed. And then out in this room, I decided to do Frozen to the North Calls, which is more like water. It's got lilies. It has a little bit of grapefruit, but it's still kind of icy, so it's very wintry, and it went pretty well with the Snowed-In Flannel. Another day, I tried to keep it with crisp and fresh and clean, so I did some of Frosted Eucalyptus, which is another one you've heard me talk about a lot lately. I think I decided not to club this because I did a bunch of sorting of my wax, like a really serious sort in the basement and everything this last weekend. And I have a good number of bars. This is not something that I'm going to go through so much of that I really needed to keep it in my club after I realized I had 4 or 5. So it is an eucalyptus, but then crisp and icy woodsy scent too. The little bit of tree, very good. So I will probably melt the rest of that clam over the course of this month. I finished up like half a clam of iced winter mint, which was very nice. And just like my experiences in November and December, melting the few bars I bought, the first couple hours I'm like, oh man, I should really club this. And then as the day goes on, it just disappears. Do other people have that struggle with this particular bar? Because I love it, but it just has a disappointing throw for me over the course of just 6 or 8 hours. So it's got this really pretty apple, little bit of spruce, and minty smell. Really, really like it, but just not strong enough to be worth the money for me. Another thing that I was doing, no, I wasn't doing this, younger daughter was doing, she really wanted some lemon sugar and sage, which I had just put in my best bars of 2025. It's in my club, and I was having a very hard time finding any bars of it. So this may be the last one in the house, because even after I did all my sorting and I sorted a whole bunch of yellow bars, I may have one more in that section, but I think this is it. That is so good though. It is a beautiful sweet lemon with sage and sugar, and I sure hope it's in the spring catalog. Next, now that was at the beginning of this basket. This is actually today. Today, I am trying to take down Christmas decor. I stripped all the red out of the house immediately after Christmas, added some white and some green and just some frostiness to get me through the next couple of weeks as I'm taking things down without it being at a blistering pace. But the tree in the front room's going down, probably tonight after I do this video. And I'm ready to start just thinking fresh and clean with a touch of woodsy. And that has nothing to do with this bar. I don't even know where I'm going with all that. But very vanilla. I just wanted vanilla. I wanted that clean, simple, elegant scent of vanilla. January and February, I will definitely crave a lot of this. This one's also in my club. And again, this was in last spring summer's catalog, and I hope it is in the future or there's something similar, because this has become my favorite vanilla. And as I was sorting, I may not have any more of this one either. I have other vanillas in my collection and they're all good, but this one's my favorite. So I'm glad I clubbed it. It's just sweet, feminine. It's got some tonka bean. It's very marshmallowy and gentle as far as vanilla goes. So another thing that I did do was some bakery that the last couple weeks with all my spices I didn't get around to, but it's still Christmassy. I did some salted caramel toffee in a few of the warmers. This is a catalog bar, and it's a good one pretty much anytime fall, winter, and I was just feeling this sort of a smell the other day. It's a little bit salty, mostly just a nice gooey caramel delicious scent that's welcoming and warming without being really holiday. And I enjoyed that with the other half of the clam of St. Nickerdoodle, because I have, as I sorted, put all of my like half clams and quarter clams into a bin. I'm going to try to knock all of those out in the month of January as much as possible. But this is such a good smell. I used the 4 cubes, I think, in this room while I did some other bakery scents in other parts of the house. It was so beautiful. St. Nickerdoodle is also in my quarterly club, and I have pushed that out till at least February. I'm going to look at my dates and see if I can push it a little farther, because I have so much wax, and this month I want to really concentrate on melting up things where I have, for vendor wax, maybe half of a bag or a quarter of a tub, and in Scentsy, all of my wretched half clams that I'm so guilty about. This is so nice. So this has the apple pastry that is unlike anything else that Scentsy makes, and I don't have a vendor wax that smells quite like this either. It's strudel-like with the powdered sugar and the gorgeous apples, and it's good and strong. Beautiful apple bakery delight. And then here's one that you guys could have had in bricks for the holiday bricks shaped like trees, or you could put bars and club of toasted caramel sugar. And this is a delightful scent. I put this in my bedroom. And it must have just been a half clam because that's the only place that I melted it. And it is this thick, creamy smell. So it's got a little bit of a caramely, toasty undertone, but it's mostly like cream and sugar. It's just beautiful. So that's toasted caramel sugar. So then the day that I started to take all of the just really over the top loud Christmas things out of the front room, I kind of discovered that I had put so much decor into the tree in my front room because I was dabbling with reds and burgundies and browns in that tree. But most of what I already own is going to be your base of like white, green, brown. I did talk about the brown, but the whites and the greens and really woodsy. I took all the red ornaments out, all the red bows, all of the more like really Christmassy rather than woodland items that were in that tree. There was so much stuff in there. I kind of found the second tree buried underneath, so I left all the brown decor, all of the green decor, and all of the gold decor, and added some white ribbons, and lo and behold, the thing lived to fight another week, but it's time to take it down now. But where was I going with that? Oh, I was just feeling like I needed a cleanse. I needed something that was maybe woodsy and refreshing. So all of that is to say that leaves and lavender, which I never melt because it's kind of weird and very strong, I threw a couple cubes of this in the front room while I was working on that tree and cleaning up all the Christmas stuff, and it felt so good. So I found a use for this. This is a very nice lavender forward, yes, but also very woodsy smell, and it is crisp. I think it will go really well with January scents, which I had not thought of because you market this leaves and lavender with sort of a leaves base. You think of it as a fall smell, but this would be really good with something like frosted white birch, which I snagged a couple of in clearance. They'll be coming in a shipment. And other lavenders, yes, which is good for January to sort of cleanse the palate. And also, it would be very good with something like frosted vanilla or woodsy but wintry sharp smells from a place like Teddy Bees. Anyway, this has kind of gotten a new life because I don't like it in the fall. It's really a winter smell, at least for me. So then another one which doesn't need to be like explained away or adjusted or anything because it's just beautiful is Persian lime and sandalwood. I did this one afternoon when I was kind of in between the kids being sick. If you have a family, if you're a mother, and especially if you have a large family, as the kids get older, because when they're little, they just tend to all kind of get sick at the same time. But as they get older and their lives separate, but they're still in the same house. It's like this one gets sick and then that one gets sick and then the grandparents get sick and then the nieces and nephews might get sick, and it just kind of circles around the family, and that's what's been going on with us. So in between, the younger daughter feeling much better and the older daughter collapsing on her sick bed. Yes, I'm into Victorian drama today. I don't know what's with me. I hope you guys are rolling your eyes and laughing like the right way, because I am really sassy. Anyway, this is what I wanted to melt. I myself have had a couple days of resting in bed, and maybe it's showing in the wrong way because I'm very feisty. The Persian lime and sandalwood is a beautiful, sweet, clean smell that is perfect for January and taking down your Christmas decor and hopefully inspiring people to rise up off of their yucky, sick, laying on the couch days. So there was a day where after I'd done a lot of fresh and clean, I'd done a lot of holiday, I needed 1 day of spices. So here was my spice fix. Beautiful toasted apple butter, which was in my melting basket for January. This is a very good, cozy smell. It's not as sweet as apple butter frosting, which is my all-time favorite, but this was perfect paired with good old cinnamon bear, which I warned you guys I was going to melt a lot of in January. So those two scents, they go a long time. They're both really good performers, true to the wax, like they don't change or get weird or anything. And they just had this lovely, warm, approachable, comforting thing going on for, I could have melted those for 2 days, honestly. It was great. I don't remember how long I did it. I think it was like maybe 36 hours. It was really good. And then there was another day, I think before I did the spice day, where I was trying to get through a lot of festive punch type scents, and we had quite a few this fall. So festive fruit punch was decent. It wasn't something I needed to club or buy more of on purpose, but this was in the holiday 5-bar bundle. It's kind of a funky fruit punch scent with an oaky but slightly sour undertone. I think if it had been oak and they'd been able to do like a woodsy sweetness, maybe it would have been more popular. It wasn't bad. I put that into my diamond milk glass warmer on top of the fridge, and then I used up a lot of a clam of cider and crimson berries, which I think is a better punch, better fruity fall scent between the two of them. But I still didn't club this because other people didn't like it and mailed me all of theirs, which is great because I have a ton now. So this one's sweeter. It's got the pomegranate. It has a nice juicy forest berry kind of a feeling to it, but it's still festive, good for Thanksgiving. And then one I love is Holiday Market, and I think I have one more full clam in the basement when I did my sort on Saturday. So I did, when I did my party closeout, add a good number of these to my Valentine's shipment party closeout. So I will have a good amount, not all of it, but a good amount of what's offered in our Valentine's collection. I got about a third of it. And I will hopefully get that video up before we are taking our little midwinter break and going on our anniversary vacation. But if I don't get it up then, it'll certainly be up before Valentine's Day, early February. But this one, this is really good. If you didn't try this out of the catalog, I know it may not feel like you want to try it now, but Holiday Market, if you like a good festive fruity smell, it's got grapefruit. I believe it has oranges. It's got maybe some allspice. It is a sweet, approachable, very, very lovely festive scent. And not as strong as, say, Christmas Cottage, not quite as cloying. It's kind of along the lines of Wassail Wonderland, but it's not as orange-y. And I think I'm about out of Wassail Wonderland now, so I'm kind of sad. We're going to have to get some of that back this year. But I love all the fruit punch, all of the festive orange and spice. I did a whole video on that really early November, and it's like my favorite category for Christmas with Scentsy other than just hardcore spice. Winter Wonderland did this one in the basement. I have several clams of this. It's really a sister scent, a little bit better performer to Whiteout. I kept Whiteout in my club because I like the complexity of that slightly better, but this just chugged away in the basement in my Glimmer and Glow warmer for a long time, and it was really peaceful. Very nice. Good for cleansing, but staying Christmassy. You know, there is a way to do that. And then there were a couple days where I went back to my hardcore tree melting because I really didn't melt tree right around Christmas. Sweet Orange and Evergreen, still one of my all-time favorites. I may even melt another clam or two of this in January. It's so good. Oh, and yes, it's a festive smell. So it makes you a little sad post-Christmas to melt it, but it's so nice. I just needed to do it at least one more time. It's got that sweet orange. It has these beautiful evergreen boughs. Ah, so good. And then a little bit sharper is Ice Balsam, which was our current December scent of the month. You can still get this. It's really good. This one is a little less festive. It'd be great for December, but it would also carry into January very well because it's a clean balsam with some freesia. And because it's a little bit feminine for a tree scent, you could really possibly, if you wanted, even push that into February. Then I did a whole clam of cabin cuddles, I think. Or this is the one that just had one cube left and I mixed it. Seeing what I have next, I think I actually mixed this. Did I do a whole clam of this? I don't know. I feel like I did a whole clam of this either this week or last week. It was great. Such a beautiful, cozy cologne scent, but it's warm and it's approachable. But I think that was the one cube wonder I had where I'm like, why did I keep that and not throw it in a warmer? And I mixed that with some Christmas Tree Farm. Now I did the whole clam of Christmas Tree Farm in the Florida room and the dining room. Mixed the one with Cabin Cuddles just to get that thing gone. This is very, very nice. A sweet, smoky, vaguely tree-like scent for Christmas. And then my all-time favorite, Silver Spur. I did this in the kitchen and the front room with Christmas Tree Farm. Very smoky, very assertive. Now, I did put this in my club because I like it so much, but I'm also realizing it's quite strong. And when I went sorting, I have a few, so this may not stay in my club for the rest of my life, but it's so good and unique. Where Christmas Tree Farm, more all-purpose, but I already have around the campfire, and I've got a couple other smoky scents in my collection, so I didn't club that, but most of you probably did, and it's a good one. All right, what else do I have here that is scentsy? I did some snowberry, and I think I might have talked about this last week too, so forgive me. I don't know if I remembered to talk about this. This just went in my bedroom. It went for a long time. It's a very good smell. If you haven't tried it, this is a perfect January, February, winter berry and peppermint scent. It's really good. Then younger daughter was really going with the fresh and clean. She wanted that lemon sugar and sage, and she also wanted some sea salt and avocado. And this is one of my older bricks that I have been working on for, feels like 4 years, maybe 5. And it will very, very slowly shrink over the next couple years. If I'm going to be honest, that probably isn't going to get thrown away till 2027, but it's a very nice scent. You can get that in club only. That was a great smell that we had for a long time in the catalog. Now it's retired, except for Bricks in Club. And it's a sweet, slightly orange, but creamy avocado and sea salt smell. And it is a really good spa refreshing scent. So that's all the scentsy except for a couple little cubes of coconut pumpkin pie that I did what day, I don't remember, just out here. And it was really, really comforting and nice. So it's almost like a Christmas cookie. It's a coconut pumpkin pie. It was a September scent, but it has baking spices. And then it's got like this crusty, almost sugar cookie goodness and a little bit of coconut. So you could get away with that as a Christmas cookie, honestly, if you didn't know what the label said. So then I do have a good amount of teddy bees and a few things from Lavender and Speckles. So I think I'll end with the teddy bees because I've got a good bit. Frosted cinnamon bread from Lavender and Speckles, very nice. Cinnamon buns, fresh baked bread, cinnamon sugar donuts, and cream cheese frosting. Did this in my bedroom, just a couple of her little shapes. They are so powerful. This was comforting. This was relaxing. Snuggly, spicy goodness. Smells just like a cinnamon roll. Very nice. One that I actually found to be shockingly strong, and I took it out of the warmers, was ribbon candy. Now, this is not a bad smell, but it's very, very fruity, and I may truly save it for more like Easter. This has fresh squeezed oranges, sweet strawberry, and a holiday mix of fruit, citrus, and greenery. All I really got was a ton of strawberry and orange in a very... For what I wanted to melt in the house, it was kind of aggressive, so I took it out of the warmer. Super, super good performer. Just not what I was feeling in the moment. Lake Tahoe, I did this sample in my bedroom. Frozen lake type, juniper berry, pine, winter suede, and birch shavings. It was just fresh and clean and kind of ruggedly outdoorsy. Very nice. That was nothing to write home about, nothing to complain about. It was good. And then Oxford comma, I used up the rest of this in my bedroom. It was great. So this one is Cozy Spiced Winter Tea, black tea, spiced vanilla, and cinnamon. And the cozy spices with the tea, very good. And it was perfect for January. So now I have some teddy bees left. And I did try a couple of things really early, like right after Christmas, right around New Year's, because I was curious. So St. Nicholas was something that I was very excited about in the last RTS. This is cinnamon, marshmallows, vanilla balsam, pine boughs, old-fashioned sugar cookies, and notes of smoldering firewood. This is a beautiful smell. It was beautiful in the warmer, but it did have a very strong smoky finish. So I would say it kept all the sweet notes for the first 3 or 4 hours. And as we all know, teddy bees can change a lot in a year, so I will put the rest of this away, and it could have a lot less smoke and a lot more sweet next fall. But this is not one based on its current performance, which for some people they would say it's not cured yet, that I need a lot more of. I loved it on cold, but it was mostly smoke on warm. It was okay. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. One which was fabulous was the rest of this, I want to say clam. This is a tub of Cider Lodge. Hot apple cider, warm chestnuts, smoky woods, sweet vanilla, bitter oranges, cloves, evergreens, palo santo, peppercorns, and patchouli. I just put the rest of this in the basement, left it in there for like 3 days. It's beautiful. As I said, the very first time I got a sniff of this, this is a scent you can melt from September into January, February. There is a note that fits every month. And it's warm, it's approachable, it's definitely cold weather. It's so comforting. So Cider Lodge I have quite a bit of, and I'm very happy now. It's only a medium throw scent. It's not super duper strong, but it's exactly what you want when you just want a comfort scent you don't have to work too hard to appreciate, that meets pretty much every need, as long as you like warm, spicy, and smoky, which it is. But in a subtle way. There's nothing harsh about that. It is a very good blend. Okay, one that I have never melted before because I was gifted this by a friend who didn't care for it. I used up about half of this holiday bake sale, which I got with missing chunks when it was given to me. Gingerbread cookies, butter cookies, sugar cookies, candied apples, and warm pie spices. This was nice. I don't know that I would go out of my way to buy it again because the sugar cookie, I struggle with some Teddy Bees cookie oils. Some of them are great, and others, there's a little bit of a sharpness to the oil, and this had that. So it was nice, but I would have liked more gingerbread. I would have liked more spice and more apple, and it was more just sugar cookie with some extras. Now here's another one where this is such an odd smell. I've loved it at times, and I didn't hate melting it, but it was just okay. It was half of a forget-me-not of Christmas macchiato. I wanted to use the whole thing at once, so I used it in pretty much everywhere in the open areas upstairs. This is fresh pine, buttercream, vanilla, waffle cone, espresso, and vanilla ice cream. So it is basically Christmas trees and cream plus coffee. Sometimes I love this. The other day it was just, it's an odd scent. That's all I can say. It's just like on a scale of 10, I'd say 5, maybe 6. It was a little weird. I loved it when it was freshly poured because I sometimes struggle with Christmas trees and cream all on its own, but I did get a tub of that to try next fall again. I don't know. I have another full forget-me-not of that because that was also a gift from the same person that gave me the holiday bake sale, so I will use it at some point, but the combination of notes as it cures is a little bit strange. All right, what's next? Oh, this was really good. I used up my vanilla pumpkin and cashmere. This is one of my oldest clams. This was from 7/12 of 23, or tubs, excuse me. Vanilla pumpkin, marshmallow fluff, cashmere cream, and vanilla birch. And anything where she combines vanilla birch and cashmere cream, it's just going to be good because I think her cashmere is the best on the market. It's just stunning. So I was enjoying that today. And then in the basement, again, I cleaned up the lingering little bits of this beautiful tub of Storybook Christmas. And this is one where even though it's a Christmas smell, I'll probably melt it one more time in January. The smell of Christmas firs by the fireplace, cinnamon pine cones, crushed vanilla beans, and smoldering cedarwood. This is perfection. It's just comforting. It's warm. It's a very, very perfect blend of wax. It's kind of like Cider Lodge, but more festive. We need to get this one back next year. I think I have 1 or maybe 2 full tubs, but I don't want this one to get forgotten. So if y'all are looking for Christmas things to put on your list for teddy bees come, late summer, early fall when we start voting for Christmas smells, Storybook Christmas. We need that back. So good. And then last but not least, I did not experience this, but my younger daughter broke into my tub of Angel. I've got a couple of souffles too. She put this in her bedroom, and this is the one where I said at the beginning of the video, there's a little bit of like February melting. This scent is gorgeous and perfect for an 18-year-old girl because her birthday's tomorrow. She's going to be 18 and the other one's going to be 21 next week. I don't even know where my life has gone. I have a 21-year-old child. That's just insane. But beach treats, soft vanilla, amber woods, tonka bean, bouncy marshmallows, caramel woods, sandalwood, and a light note of pear. Gorgeous. She loved it. It's a flirty winter body care. It's just so pretty. Like, I would even wear this as a middle-aged, mature woman. And it's just happy. And it's perfect for an innocent Valentine's kind of a feel. So that is everything that I have been getting through. I am wondering what you guys are feeling like warming. Are you staying woodsy? Are you dipping into things that are more like candy and thinking towards Valentine's? Are you still doing Christmas because you're committed to getting those clams all gone before you pack everything away? Let me know what's going on. And have any of you looked at the Valentine's collection? I know it's early. Ordering mine just because it's fun to be able to show you guys things. I do really like, I think it's called the Adorned Warmer. It is something I did in a little video a few days ago. It doesn't have a light. It's an element warmer, but it looks like the most beautiful little, almost an art piece. It looks like a filled candle with almost a Mackenzie Childs type finish and this darling little heart on the top and little filigree punch outs to let the scent out if you want to put the lid on. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I'm looking forward to reviewing that with you in, I hope not too many days. We'll see how fast the shipping is. So have a wonderful January, you guys. God bless.